Hello.
It's Wednesday afternoon, everyone. And what time is it, Carrie? It is...
Stat time.
It's that time.
Yeah.
It's that time of the month. Oh, God. It feels like it's been a while, right?
It has been a little bit.
It has been. Because we had like a little hiatus for one reason or another. But anyway, we're back at it.
Yes, we are.
And it's an interesting time because we have the numbers for not for this month, we have for last month.
Yes, which was...
Here comes our
March.
esteemed colleague,
Yes.
Victor Butaro. Anyway, so it's an interesting time because we have, there's a few things that are going on, right? And we have you obviously have the numbers, but I wanted to get into, we're gonna have one of those entries, the grand entrance.
Yes.
Say hello, Vic.
Hello.
Hi, Victor.
Anyway, welcome, Victor. If you want, you could grab a chair and we'll throw some questions at Vic while he's sitting there.
Throw some questions. What do you got for me today?
But anyway, we're going to get into the stats, and one of the interesting things is obviously the inflation report came out this week,
Yes.
and rates are back on the rise. The one key element now, again, which is, I've said this before, the rate hikes that they were planning, I think have now been adjusted backwards because we're starting to see, they're saying inflation's heating up again. What's that mean for you guys? It means that mortgage rates are likely to get a bit higher than they have been. I think they're at the highest point in the quarter, and I think we may approach 7.5 soon, and because it's just a hotter than expected report. The interesting thing is like, what do we do from here? I think the Fed's at a very big crossroads right now.
Yeah.
About what to do, because the overall economy is sagging. Whether they want to report on it or not, I think one of the things that, and we're on both formats, by the way. We're actually on TikTok Live and Facebook.
Yeah, too.
Because it seems like Facebook doesn't like us anymore.
No, for real.
It's like really seriously
yeah.
been a thing. But anyway, I think I'm going to start looking in this direction more. But the big thing is that the numbers are coming, the numbers for inflation, and you have to go on TikTok a little bit, and you see like what's going on with people complaining about the job market being crappy and how they can't find work, and like all the layoffs. There's been layoffs in tech, and there's been a massive. As a matter of fact, since 2009, there hasn't been this many layoffs in a lot of in the tech sector. So what the hell is going on, really? I'm trying to figure this out. Because one of the things we're going to come up in this report is that some of the numbers are up again. They're elevated after 2 months of declines. They're back on the rise. And it's basically saying that in this report that we're going to be doing. Its numbers are back on the rise again.
Yes.
And I guess according to the inflation report, that is correct. It looks like the numbers are starting to show up as on prices are on the rise again. And that's not something the Fed wants. The big question is how far they're going to push. And Vic, how far are they going to push?
Right. I don't know. The people are still outbidding us.
Yeah,
Okay,
multiple
with
bids.
these rates, we're buying homes, and we're trying to buy a house in Jersey, and they had 15 offers.
Multiple offers again, yeah.
I went above asking price on a medium house, nothing, and the
Just for the
mortgage,
record, Vic is here chiming in from the from our studio audience.
and the mortgage that these people have to pay, like the average American now could barely, based on salaries and everything else, could barely afford a $400,000 home. And
What did you say, just for the record? So I mean, we have people watching.
Yeah.
What was the monthly payment for a mortgage of $500,000?
So on a $500,000 home with 20% down, right? We're looking at everything prime with a good credit score. We're talking at a 7% rate with your you know, with your homeowner's insurance and property taxes, you're looking at close to $4,000 per month. Okay.
Right.
Now,
So there you have it. $4,000 per month. About 4,000. That's not including your gas, your electric.
so just to put things into perspective, it's more than. So I purchased my home in 2014, and I was at a 3 and change rate.
Right.
So my mortgage probably about half would be almost, no, you know, a little less than, let's just say 25
Right.
hundred a month,
Yeah.
give or take. And, you know, back then I could probably buy, so the purchasing power.
So purchasing power has definitely declined. But thanks, Vic, for putting that.
It's very depressing for anybody.
You're not depressed.
Well,
Come on, it's all good. It's all good.
I mean, if I were a buyer in this market with my wife, and
I guess the people.
I would be,
For the people, there's a lot of people on TikTok. Obviously, TikTok is flying as usual. One of the things is we're going over the real estate stats for Staten Island. Vic just easing, obviously chiming in because we invited him to on the topic of affordability and where affordability is, where it's going. So with that being said, the main factor in this housing, the latest economic report that drove inflation was housing costs. That's the number one driver of inflation.
Yes.
So the price. Now, there's a lot of reasons that I probably don't want to get into on what some of that may be or may not be. And, there's a lot of things going on with housing that are maybe too political to discuss online. But there's a lot of housing issues, and it's one thing to have working people pay for it, and it's another thing for non-working people to pay for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a problem. And we have to figure that out. It's going to be figured out somehow because I think people are getting a little frustrated by it. But anyway, it is the driving factor in this latest economic activity, the latest forecast on inflation. Bumping up is housing costs accelerating once again, and our report says it. And Kerry,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
I'm gonna give her. She needs Red Bull before she comes on next time.
I do. I'm okay.
You all right?
Yes. I'm ready to go.
You're ready to go.
Yep.
Okay, show that excitement. I had to put my glasses on now because I actually got to read stuff. And I'm being chastised for wearing these glasses, even though Kerry will on stage. She says I have the wrong frames. But
Yes. I'm wearing my glasses too, so.
no, but you have your round frames.
Yeah,
Mine show my age apparently. That I'm starting to. I'm not supposed to be wearing these square frame glasses.
Yes.
So round glasses are in. I get all my latest eyewear fashion tips from Kerry. Kerry's always has glasses, so I always ask her. So the next time you see it, I will get I'll get the specs.
Yeah?
What
The
do you
next
think?
time is going to be Friday. You're going to have them
Yeah.
in time for Friday?
No, I don't think I'll have them in time for Friday. I'm gonna have to wear these old man glasses.
No.
Anyway, so go through the numbers with me, Kerry. Let's see what we got. Let's see what's going on, and we'll take it from there.
All right. So I always start with the days on the market. So that has not changed month over month. It's still at 55 days. But year over year, it has decreased about 25% year over year.
25% decrease in the average days on the market.
Yeah.
So there's your 8% interest rate. As soon as we said this, as soon as 8% interest rate, that was like a pretty big pause in the market. It was 8% seemed to really pause the market. It was dicey. I would say that things really quieted down with 8%. everything that dropped to like under 7 for a little bit, things picked up again. And this is what I'm talking about, the volatility of the market right now. Everything that's going on is so interest rate driven that as soon as those, we've said it before, as soon as those rates come down, we get multiple bid situations, like Vic said he's in, trying to beat out people. New Jersey, Monmouth County is off the charts. We'll get into Monmouth County next week.
Yes.
The numbers there, I did a preliminary on it, and it's insane. I think now Monmouth County is I think the average sale price now in Monmouth County exceeded Staten Island now.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
the first time ever. Monmouth County's average sale price has now accelerated past Staten Island.
Wow.
That's the first news of this that we're going to be getting into. Is that's the first time it's ever happened. So Monmouth is accelerated past Staten Island.
Historic.
Yeah, from a historic standpoint, Vic is right. Yeah, it is historic. When I looked at the numbers, I was kind of dumbfounded and shocked. But when you see what's going on over there, inventory, the supply of houses is driving values there off the chart. Believe it or not, I just looked at a report, Vic, that, sorry to throw you into the mix in here, but just looked at a report that it said New Jersey is one of the top 5 real estate markets in the country right now, as far as price acceleration. While some of the trends have bucked down in other states, New Jersey and Florida have been the hottest of all the industries, all the markets out there in each of the states. I believe it's in the top 5. If I'm not mistaken, it's the 4th most active markets out there. The interesting thing.
I know we're not allowed to mention it, but I think I know one of the reasons is people don't, realtors are not allowed to discuss school districts.
Yeah.
But I think that's,
I think it's just supply and demand, if you ask me. But I think it's just supply and demand at this point. There's just not enough supply out there.
No, because I pulled up, let's just say, certain areas, let's just say Middletown.
Middletown's absolutely
And
on
I
fire.
don't know, maybe I may see there may be 12 homes for sale, and that's it. There's
That's
no
a big
inventory.
geographic, yeah. It's a big,
It
it's
is,
a big chunk.
there is no inventory.
So with that being said, let's get into why. And I'm sorry for the people, like, we have TikTok on. I know there's people throwing questions. We're kind of far away from the camera.
Yeah, we can't read any.
We can't read it. Next time we'll create some moderation.
It's a big TV. Isn't it?
Yes, we're going to pull one of
I
those
love
screens.
to answer questions.
We did. One of the things is that there are questions that pop up in here. We answered a couple right on the last one.
Yeah.
But we're going into Jersey. But this is Staten Island. So get to the next number. So the average days on the market is 55. It is down. The average days on the market is down 25%, that's a notable number for this market. It's down 20. I mean, it was going up back last year, 73
Yeah.
to 55.
Yes. So speaking of inventory, the inventory is down both year over year and month over month. So year over year it's down 11.30%, and month over month it's down about 13%.
Yeah, wow.
The inventory percent.
Again, the constraints are there. It's showing that there is no improvement in, and to put that into kind of just to give you the context of what's going on here about how frozen the market actually is. Home buyers who are waiting for this big dip in real estate prices, it's not happening. And I think this is confirmation. It can. There's only one thing that can happen, and this is where the Fed is going to make. I'll get into this later about how we sum this up, but this is like, well, just what's the active listings down?
Active listings are down 16.50% year over year.
16.5%, and then
Yeah.
new listings are down.
Basically 19%.
Wow.
Yeah. Year
But
over
here's
year.
the funny thing: pending listings are down 18%. So things that are pending, that's in contract, is 18% less this year than last year. Sold listings are down 5% year over year, but they are up month over month.
15.
But I just want to emphasize that that's a seasonal adjustment.
Yeah.
That we shouldn't, month over month numbers based on the seasonality could be a little skewed. So I'm looking at year over year numbers here, which is probably a better gauge at this point in time. Maybe as we get into June, July, August, we could use some more month over month because the season kind of like changes there. But the one thing is that the pending listings are still, that's based on year over year. So the same time last year, at this time, it's down to 18%.
Yeah.
So even though there's less sales, get into the average sale price. Where'd that go up?
The average sale price.
Yeah, sold average sale.
Sold average sale is up year over year at 3.60%.
Yeah.
Yes.
So another 3%.
Yeah. So it's at
It's at 600 and... Yeah,
no,
696 as of March 2024.
Yes.
Up from last year at 672. The interesting, February is down from February. It is down from February's numbers,
Yeah.
which is not even a little under 1.5%. That's. But if you look at the median isn't. So the median is the median sale is at 3.8, right?
Yeah. Month over month. It's up.
Okay.
And it's also up year over year.
What's the year over year on that?
4.85.
On the median. Okay, so year over year, the sold median sale price is up almost 5%. That's year over year. So from 639 to 670, correct?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
670. The basic thing there is that we consistently have the market pressure, even though, again, active listings down, new listings down, sold listings down, pending listings down, prices up. Which, this is year, oh God, I don't want to date myself here, but this is year 18 for me. It's the first time in history, since I've been doing numbers, that you could recall inventory going down and prices going up. Very, very, very rare. And I do see some comments, and guys, if you're on TikTok, obviously, one of the things that I can't do is I can't read the comment. We will get something a little bit closer. We'll have someone staffing the moderation board.
Yeah.
But we will get back to it. Can we go back to it later?
If we scroll,
Yeah, well, if there's a question,
Unless
we'll
you-
probably pick it up.
put it on your iPad. Right now.
Yeah, then I'm going to be like in delay and I'll be like staring down.
Yeah.
We'll get back to it later.
Okay. What factors might be contributing to the increase in sold medium sale and sold average sale?
What could be, what's contributing to the increase is rates drop below 7. It seems to be the new benchmark. Mm-hmm. It seems like 7, at one time it was considered to be overly high. Water seeks its own level, as they say. As people get used to this rate, and this becomes more like a settling line, it's kind of like how the expectation is. Buyers will wait a certain amount of time, and then they'll say, this is never coming down. And they'll jump, and this seems to be the issue now, is that whatever they hope for in prices to come down didn't happen. And you're going to see that reflected in the numbers. I think in the next few months, we're not going to see, there's nothing here. These type of inventory numbers are off the charts. It's contracting the business substantially, I'll say that. This isn't a fun time for transaction volume. It's one of the slowest markets of transaction volume in quite a long time. Not that some people aren't going to mind that, but it's wildly low. This is one of the more interesting reports because the average current cumulative days on the market coming down 25% here. Another that's a big contributing factor.
Yeah.
So which one of the other questions?
So the sale to list price ratio, that's up year over year 1.14. how does the sale to list price ratio in Staten Island compare to other markets like Jersey and
like Monmouth County.
yeah.
The sales to list price ratio in Monmouth County is almost, I believe, at 100%. So if you're not bidding in New Jersey right now at or above list price, chances are you're not getting the house. Is that true, Vic? He'll tell you firsthand. We have firsthand account of that.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, there's not going to be an ease up on it. I mean, with rates coming up this week, so this week mortgages, again, the mortgage application rate is down fractionally, not wildly. Refinances are up even though rates are at 7. I think they reported a 5% increase in refinances because people, one of the things the country has accumulated is a lot of credit card debt. And I think they're like, okay, rates aren't going to come down. It's time to consolidate and use the house. I'm not a big fan of that. The mortgage people hate me for saying that, but I'm not. If you can't pay your credit cards, finding an alternative solution is probably, yeah. And there's my wife.
It looks like I don't know what. I don't know if that's a question.
It is a question. There are questions popping up there.
Do you want to read one for you? Or?
If you have TikTok, you could read it. You always want to jump in front of the camera. I could do that. But
we should do where we do while we're at the live, or if they live nearby, if they're local people, they can be with us. It's not a problem. I mean, if they have any questions.
yeah, I mean that's one of the things we can do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know.
But they have to give me a coffee. That's all. Buy me a coffee, or you can ask me.
You're gonna get them the coffee. What are you kidding?
Well, they gotta buy me the coffee.
Oh,
okay. That's my price.
Questions and coffee. That should be the
So my
next.
fee is a cup of coffee.
Questions and coffee.
I think that's a fair fee.
That's a good
Like charge, right?
title.
It is a
Yeah,
good
that is a
title.
good
That's
title.
my fee. I charge you 1 cup of coffee and I'll answer all of your questions. That's all. I think it's a fair deal.
I think it's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Well, we're
bullshit.
talking about inflation now. You know, the inflation numbers. You know, the inflation numbers. The coffee's gone up. Coffee beans are up. I believe about 25%. So your coffee bean
If they
costs
do an
more.
espresso, I'll even do a CMA for them. Now with a sambuca, then we're talking.
Yeah, this one is.
Yeah, so given the current market conditions, what strategies should buyers adapt to navigate the competitiveness?
He's got his hand up. You know what it is. Guys, and he'll say it, and I'll say it, and we'll all say it. If you're in certain markets, I'm just going to give you, doing this 18 years, one of the things that I have done is even in the worst of markets and the best of markets, if you like the house at the price you're in, somebody else does too. Let's call it what it is. It's everybody seems to like the same thing at a price. So just remember that when you're going out, if you like the house enough to say, I really like that house, there's no doubt about it. There's competition for it. And if you're in some markets, maybe in Staten Island, although this report doesn't really say much about Staten Island either, except for the fact that price on the rise. You're going to have to bid pretty high. I mean, I didn't answer your question on sale to list price ratio, which is
No.
I got to get to that question. So it's, what is it from here? It's sales to list price ratio is 97.2%, up 1.1 1/10%. Month over month, it's almost up a full percent. So the rates have obviously thawed a little bit, and as soon as that does, the door shuts. So I know when you get that house next year, Carrie, you'll be excited.
Yeah, I wish.
You're not gonna wish. You're gonna get Carrie a house.
Okay.
We're not gonna argue with that, right?
Thank you.
That'll be a bonus for the year.
Oh, God. Thanks.
Yeah,
That's so nice.
don't count on it though. As you can tell, we're working with multiple camera systems here.
Yeah.
I gotta get a consolidation here.
Yeah.
You gotta consolidate into like one. There's these stacks that they have. But Vic, what do you
Yeah.
have for a strategy? I just want to hear. You can chime in.
My advice, okay, make your offer stand out. There's 15 offers on the table. What do I tell my clients? Right, we're putting 20% down. Some people put a very low contract signing. There's no amount. You could put $1, right? As little as $1 just to sign a contract. So I encourage the clients if you put $10, $20, $30,000 down. If you're putting, so it makes it more attractive. Little things. Somebody looks like these people are putting only, I don't know, $5,000 for contract signing, right? It's easier to walk away from $5,000 than $30,000 or $40,000. It shows your offer is more solid. Little things like that.
Come with a bag of cash, you're saying.
Well, you're gonna put that money anyway. Some people like when I purchased my home, I put only like $10,000 for a contract signing back then.
I know.
It was okay, but today's, and I was putting 30% down. Okay, but I only put very little for contract signing. But I had no other competing offers, and I knew that. But
That
now,
was 2000. That was 2000 what?
14.
2014.
and I had the total control of
It was a
that
buyer's
situation.
market.
But now, so good pre-approval letter. Work with a good lender, somebody reputable.
Well, the interesting thing that's going to come up always comes up in these markets is appraisals. Some people come up on their prices. The question really becomes if the appraisal meets the price.
Well, you
Once
have
they
to be
do.
very careful with that because then
Because didn't you had said recently, right? You had put it in a buyer and you did the appraisals, and
So-
even with the buyer requesting to pay more, you said the
Well, so-
appraisals didn't meet what you would think.
when I'm the listing agent and I get offers way above list price and way above what I think the house will appraise for, then I request appraisal waiver on that. Definitely.
Yeah,
We're going to go $70,000 above ask.
a lot of people though now
They
the sellers now while rates were 8%, and we experienced this as well when rates were 8%, we did see some of that drop away. So there was definitely a cooling of the market at 8%. This is going back into November of this year. Things were not. It was that kind of tipping point in the market, and quickly retreated from there. The rates retreated down to 6.5. I think at one time it was down to almost like 6.25, and it really, as soon as the rates tick down, though, the prices go
It's
up.
going to go up. Another
But
strategy-
and that's this. The problem is that they can't. This is the number one problem with inflation right now, moving into the next quarter, and I think June is
There will be a
the.
flood if you were to. So this is my personal take on this. Right? Well, besides, I want to add one more thing about buying. I personally advise against it to my clients waiving inspection. Right. So it's another because whatever you have competing offers, you have 20 offers on the table. These people are going to waive inspection. They're going to waive appraisal contingency. I never advise that's just my personal view on it. If they want to do that, fine. I do not advise against waiving an inspection on their single most important purchase in their lifetime. That's just me. Sometimes if you want to make your offer seem a little bit more attractive, some people, that's another tactic, right?
Yeah, I mean the question. Obviously, and that's dipped, and I've seen it, and the desperation is real. So when people need a house, excuse me, it's like they're willing to just, because it's that few, it's a law of scarcity, and I think one of the things that when you have such a scarce inventory, it's like fundamentals do not really take hold well in these kinds of markets. I think one of the things that we're seeing is when you have these constrained inventory situations, it's like, let's throw the fundamentals out the window. We can kind of deal with whatever is going to come. My thing is, if you have someone, even if you're going to go that direction and you're going to make something, you may have to have someone who's pretty skilled at knowing what they're looking at to make a determination, but while they're in that house to see if there's anything going on. But yeah, I'm a big fan of saying that you should get an inspection no matter what. But in this market, sometimes it's the difference between paying, getting their price at their price, or having to move up to another $50,000 for another house that will accept it. It's very challenging. Make sure, and one of the things is like everything, I think it's very good to express that you should have an inspection on most anything. I agree with that assessment. But it comes down to, we work at the behest of what the buyer wants, and if that's the way they want to go, we have to kind of go along. Because I've had people, they're like, no, we don't want anything to do with, we just want this house, we don't care. And that's how tight the market is, and it's very hard to find something, so people will make that mistake. Mm-hmm. And I think it's something that that should be done as well. But we'll see. I think you're going to see that again. But you're right. As soon as those rates come down below, I'm telling you now, I'm really pushing the rate cuts off now. I thought for sure. I thought March, and now I kind of sensed it. The economy kind of like there's a lot of free money still moving about the economy, and it hasn't softened itself up yet. But I don't think it can. I'm going to say this. I don't think I've said it in other. We've done these live. We've done these things about the inflation. It's not going to be. The banks are precipitously underwater with rates being this high. And one of the key challenges moving forward is the bank's reserves are not in good standing because they're holding assets that are at 3%, 3.5%. They're holding old assets. They're holding old mortgages. And depositors have to be paid at 5, 5.5 to attract the depositors. So then, just on that factor alone, there's other factors, there's bad loans in commercial industry, in the commercial sectors, but on that factor alone, outflows are going to outpace what they have in reserves. So if there's anything that changes in like reserves, it's like it's too delicate a balance, and I don't think they're going to find the balance that they're going to need, because if things could quickly turn, and I think if they quickly turn, the unemployment rate jumps. Which I don't know what the heck that rate unemployment. Does anyone believe the unemployment number? It's a 3 point. I never seen such.
Those unemployment numbers do not count people that gave up looking for work.
I don't know what it is.
Those numbers are fudged. Because if I'm unemployed,
you're gonna get
6 months I
drawn.
collect unemployment, right? So I count as a statistic. As a person that's unemployed, I'm collecting. When I no longer will look for work or collect unemployment, they take me out of the equation. But I'm still unemployed.
Somebody put it out there that what it was that full-time workers were doing 2 full-time jobs at the same time, which I think is ludicrous. I heard this before, so like.
I commend that.
I mean, well, you do, Paul, pretty much.
If you could sit in the computer.
Well, that's what they said was going on. So it's like, are they managing full too? I don't buy it. I don't buy it because they can't collect unemployment, so they're losing. So what they're doing, they're cutting back on job. There's something wrong. TikTok people know. I mean, I don't know. I gotta get the right answer there. Lord knows. I don't know what the hell is going on over here.
No.
I think we said the wrong thing on a live once, and I think that was the end.
Yeah. For real. I don't know.
You know? It
Yeah,
really is really strange.
Yeah.
It's disconcerting. Well, thank God for alternatives.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the big thing is whether or not we think anybody out there who's experiencing job market, you can weigh in, leave a comment. Because people don't believe that the unemployment rate is at 3.7, and yet I don't know how many layoffs were announced in the last 3 months. It's been off the wall.
Crazy.
It's been a lot. I mean, major. So you're scared of AI?
Yes.
What makes you scared of AI? Carrie's an AI expert.
I am.
She's kidding me.
I just think it's it's like taking over jobs and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and it's I mean, I like it, but I'm also scared of it.
Yeah.
You know?
It makes it.
Like it.
Well, I think it makes things more productive, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's gonna just say the right things now. She knows how much I like it. As long as I like it, she's gonna be like, okay, yes, it's good. It's good, Anthony. You could just keep going.
No.
Yes. But anyway, so just go over the key numbers for everybody on the stats.
Yes.
Just go over, roll it out, and then we can close this off.
All right. So the average days on the market are at 55 days. So that's should I say like the
Yeah.
year over year, month over
Yeah.
month for everything?
Mhm.
Okay.
Just do the year over year.
Year over year, okay. So that's down 25% year over year. The month inventory is down 11.30%. Sales to list price ratio is up 1.14. Sold medium listing are up 4.12.
Just want to reiterate, sold median listing price means what people who put their house on the market are increasing their price 4% over last year. So when they actually go on the market, they're listing it higher. That's what it means, just so you know.
Yes. The pending average listing is up 1.57. Sold average listing is up 2.64. New average listing is up 9.14. The sold average sale is up 3.60. Sold medium sales up 4.85. Active listings are down 16.50. New listings are down 18.89. Pending listings are down 18.43. And sold listings are down 5.86.
Yeah, when you talk about the downs on the active listings, new listings, pending listings,
They're
and
all
sold
down,
listings,
yeah.
year over year down. So but that doesn't mean a down market. And people say, what's a down market? Is volume a down market? Because if this is the case, that's what this is indicating. Again, prices are down substantially. Not prices, inventory.
Yes.
Prices are up. Prices are up again. And that's what's reflected in the latest news on inflation. Prices of housing and housing costs have risen, causing inflation to rise, and that's what the latest report indicates.
Yep.
So guess what? That means higher interest rates, and I think it means higher for longer interest rates overall. And it's going to get interesting, folks. Get ready. But we're going to have, Vic is going to be on next week.
What will be the topic?
We're going to be talking about the whole litigation with the National Association. The National Association of Realtors.
I think that's fine.
National Association of Realtors lawsuit involving anti-competitive practices, right, of the real estate business. That's what they went after.
Yeah.
And saying that real estate
They basically
people.
said that agents charge and I quote unquote standard commission, which in my opinion.
Well, for that
is-
report, make sure you have the printout of that because you're going to have to refer to it. We're going to have the printout where it states there is some type of standard commission.
That's the allegation.
That's the allegation. About, my thing is like a lot of people are arguing over this, whether they settled or not. Whether they settled on this, settled on is. I'm not a fan of settling.
That's not losing either.
Yeah, but I think in the court of public opinion it is. You could weigh in on that. The court of public opinion is definitely not in the favor of.
But in this country, lawsuits are never won or lost. They're always settled. Always settled. If you really think about it, doesn't matter what, when you try to sue large corporations and maybe, for cancer or whatever happened, it caused you to...
What lawyer do you likes to be in a courtroom? None.
So they settle.
They get to bill without having to do all the real. It's just negotiations. It's like it's
I
that's
took some law courses in
Yeah.
college, and that was law.
that's the law, and that's the bell. Anyway, we need to. We're going to be closing that out. So basically, the numbers are up on the sale prices, down on the volume of sales,
Yes.
and interest rates are on the rise. So that's really how we're going to conclude it. I don't think there's going to be any changes overall to the market for buyers. I think this ship on that's passed. I think. I don't think, in summing this up, I don't think we're going to get any relief from. We're going to get any relief whatsoever from this inflationary cycle. I think the dangers we may be in just we're not going to really get out of it. There's many factors contributing to that, and I've said it in past lives. I don't think the ability to get inflation under control without doing substantial damage is there. There's many very basic indicators that suggest it without doing like some serious damage. You're really going to have to like ding the. I mean, which you can create defaults, a massive default situation, which is going to require bailouts, or you're going to have to deal with some level of inflation. I just don't think that interest rates alone could defuse the inflation bubble. You created a standard of living that requires a certain number now, and to come off of that, you're going to have to literally. It could go from inflation, like they want to bring down inflation, but they could literally pop it, and then it goes into a deflationary cycle, which is just as bad, if not worse. So we have to see how this goes. All right, and.
Yes.
Actually, someone just tuned in. Wow.
That's great.
I'll tell you, I don't know what's going on with this thing.
Yeah, I
Ever
don't
since
know.
we
We gotta
that
look
one
into
thing.
it.
Yeah, we're going to look into it. Just going to have to move past it. That's it.
Yeah.
Because, thank you, Tick. Oh, now all of a sudden they must have picked up on us.
Yeah, now.
But you could go back and scroll through. We've been on for
Yes.
quite a while. We're talking about Staten Island real estate statistics for everybody. And next week we're going to be talking about New Jersey,
Yep.
which should be interesting. New Jersey is just on fire. Not in a bad way.
Yeah. No.
People in the Pine Barrens are like, what do you mean New Jersey's on fire? No, I'm going to mean that way. But it's going to be definitely something to really look at. Because the numbers, New Jersey's been one of the home run hitters in this market. Overall, through last year, there was a couple of dips, I think, in the last report, right? Wasn't there like a dip in the last
Yeah,
report?
it wasn't. Yeah.
Things were down a little
Yeah.
bit, not fractionally, but it was. There's people look at the join live there. TikTok is quite the robust. Now people are starting to tune in over here. We're starting to trickle outward. But anyway, you're gonna have to go back and look through the feed, because obviously, as usual, we're late on that algorithm, I guess.
Yeah.
Someone has to actually watch a little closely what we're saying.
Yeah. That.
Watch those shadow veins. Anyway, let's move on from here. Anyway, that's the numbers. We'll
Yep.
see you on Friday.
Yes.
All right.
See you Friday, guys.
Have a great week.
Bye.